Massive result for Liverpool, 2-2 draw from 2 losing positions with 10 men. Feels absolutely massive in the Premier League title race. If Liverpool lose this game, it opens the door to Arsenal and Chelsea in a whole different kind of way. But Arsenal draw as well. It feels like Liverpool have made up massive ground in the title race. They've only played one game in the last 2 weeks because the game got called off obviously last week as well against Everton. And this Liverpool side are showing belief, they're showing determination. They probably feel they should have gone on to win the game 3-2 in the final minutes. Some big chances, some unbelievable defending from Robinson in the final few minutes of the game. We're going to break down all the goals, the sending off as well, my opinion on that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tons of content coming out, particularly the Manchester derby on Sunday. Let's just start off with the sending off. I'm going to be completely real. This is my channel. I don't think it's a sending off. It's a foul. It's a yellow. It's clumsy. It's very, very clumsy and reckless. Of course it is. It doesn't seem massively high. I know it's Andy Robertson kind of hooking around the body and kind of taking a large part of the leg. I don't think it's malicious. It feels more clumsy. And there was a foul similar, actually. Was it on Andy Robertson just before that from Diop, I think it was. And he didn't get basically anything for it. And it's very similar. I don't think it's a red card. I really don't think it's a red card. And I think it's very, very harsh. It feels like referees in the Premier League, everything's a decision. Even the Cody Gakpo goal for Liverpool today, the VAR had to intervene for 30 seconds, just make sure that they're giving permission to Liverpool fans and Liverpool players to celebrate a perfectly good goal. I just feel that the Andy Robertson one was a little bit harsh, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Whatever you say about it, it was a foul, was a yellow. We can definitely certainly debate. It's a marginal debate between yellow and red card. Either way, Liverpool with 10 men to play against this Fulham side who are so well organised, have got such pace on the counter-attack, actually in midfield can control a game of football for a good spell. They really can. And then they go 1-0 down. I mean, this goal from Pereira is absolutely outrageous. I wonder if we'll be looking back in 6 months' time, considering this goal of the season or top 5, top 10. It is unbelievable. The ball from Wilson out to Iwobi is delicious. Iwobi takes his touch, plays it into Robinson. The ball from Robinson is actually, obviously, now that he's scored Pereira from it, it looks outrageously good at the time. But you look at Harry Wilson when the highlight is played. He's got his head on his hands. He can't believe he's overhit the cross. And somehow Pereira gets there and he hooks it back on. It's so technically difficult to do what he did. I know it was a bit of a deflection off the Liverpool defender, but the technical brilliance of the ball from Robinson was fantastic. The ball from Iwobi into Robinson, the overlap and run from Robinson. He was doing that to Trent all day long. But the Pereira finish, absolutely outrageous. Former Manchester United, who would love doing that against Liverpool at Anfield. And you felt from that position, it was a really, really tough game for Liverpool. They found it hard to break down Fulham. They obviously created chances, but in reality, Fulham kept the ball very, very well. I thought Raul Jimenez was really, really strong and led the line very, very well. Linked up play fantastically well as well. 47 minutes, Cody Gakpo in the second half. This is like the perfect team talk. I feel like we've seen this a few times from Liverpool. They go in, not always 1-0 down to a side like Fulham, with all due respect, but they go in and you feel like Arne Slot has got this palpable change and palpable management of the Liverpool players, because there's always this bounce in the second half. Liverpool's record in the second half of football matches is exceptionally good. They score so many of their goals in the second half. You feel that Arne Slot's got a magic touch in the changing room, whether it's just motivation, playing in front of the Anfield, the Anfield faithful, whatever you want to say about it, but Arne Slot definitely gets an extra 5-10% out of players. And it's an underrated thing in management. How can you get a bit of a boost? How can you jolt the system to a side that are so used to winning, particularly this season? How do we jolt the side? How do we get them going a little bit quicker, a little bit more intense? And within 2 minutes, the ball gets played in. It's an unbelievable cross from Salah. I think he's made it to 100 assists for Liverpool now, which is outrageous if you include all the goals he's scored. But the ball in, it was a little bit dead weight. It kind of hung in the air a little bit. And Cody Gakpo, he could have had a hat trick today. Really, probably should have had a hat trick. Can be quite wasteful a little bit on his day, particularly the one when he comes in on his body and he shoots and it kind of goes near post of Leno. But it's a good header, no question about it. And that, honestly, from the 1-1 position, it was end to end. Fulham were playing into the fact that Liverpool, had so many changes. Quansah came in at one point. You had Harvey Elliott come on, Diogo Jota, you had Nunes. You felt there was a lot of rotation. The big one was Quansah, actually. You always felt that Fulham, they thought they could get at Quansah a little bit. I think right at the end of the game, he gave away a pretty cheap corner. But ultimately, they did hold it together, and the substitutions made a massive, massive impact. Fulham 2-1. I thought this was game over. I can't believe Liverpool even got a draw out of this game. That's why I'm saying it's such a big result. But the ball in, honestly, the ball in from Anthony Robertson, he was doing it every single minute of the game, overlapping and underlapping Trent Alexander-Arnold. That ball was coming from Iwobi all the time as well. Robinson's pace is outstanding. His quality of delivery is outstanding. He put one into the box in the first half for Wilson, and Wilson skied it. But Robinson's delivery is fantastic. This guy's a Champions League left back. His athleticism is absolutely electric. It is a small commentary on the gap between Ryan Gravenberch and Trent Alexander-Arnold. There are gaps there. Gravenberch doesn't always know whether to cover. Obviously, Jordan Henderson did a fantastic job of doing that for many, many years, limiting the exposure to Trent defensively. And we saw that for the first Fulham goal in particular. He was miles away from blocking the cross into Pereira. And it happens again, all from the left-hand side. So there is a comment there that Arne Slot in big games. And it's a very small, constructive bit of criticism from my observations of a football match. But there is exposure there. If your left wing back or left back is willing to bomb on and commit and trust that he's going to get the ball, because it's not easy to expect that ball to come to you. And there'll be far better left backs than Robinson and Iwobi, with all due respect, playing balls in behind the Liverpool right side of defence. But something will have to be figured out there, particularly in cup finals and Champions League semi-finals, if Liverpool get there, and even in the Premier League title race as well. But every time Fulham bombed down the left, something happened. It's a beautiful little flick from Muniz, who came on today and caused havoc. It was a great little flick. Probably an own goal. It's probably closest to being an own goal from Joe Gomez, because I think the shot was going wide. But either way, it's fantastic movement from Muniz. And I can't believe Liverpool got back in it. I thought they looked a little bit deflated, a little bit flat. I think Jota and Harvey Elliott came on after that, I think. And they changed the game. It's outrageous. Darwin Núñez picks up the ball. He plays it straight into Diogo Jota. Jota takes this kind of inward step and then shoots across the face of his body past Leno. Completely diverts the Fulham back line. The ball from Núñez is underrated. This is a guy whose confidence, you can see, was very, very low. He tried to take on the Fulham defender when he first came on. He just sort of played it backwards. You feel, what's happened to Darwin Núñez? His confidence has gone down a little bit for sure. But maybe that's Arne Slot managing him a little bit and just saying, if you're not going to be 100% confident, why don't you just use your athleticism, get into great positions, and then retain possession, play it back to someone else? And he played a beautiful little ball into Jota. Jota finished it off massively. It's a great, great finish. To do that across your body, past the keeper of Leno's quality, is very, very underrated as well. So ultimately, Liverpool have matched Arsenal's results, and that means that's one less game played. So that means Arsenal have definitely weakened their Premier League title race even further, despite, last week's poor result against Fulham last week. So Liverpool have stretched a lead. Salah is still in unbelievable form. I thought Diaz was a little bit quiet today. I think actually, if you have someone like Diop and Korenka, who was fantastic today, by the way, the whole back line, Tete before he went off with a nasty injury, fantastic. Actually, and Burjan Lukic as well. You can lock up Diaz a little bit. I don't know if playing down the middle always works. He looked a little bit isolated at points, but you have to play Gakpo off the left as well, because when he comes on his right foot, he's absolutely electric. So Bosley was fantastic today. He's got so much energy. It's outrageous. Curtis Jones went off injured with a potential, not ankle breaker, but it was like, ankle breaker kind of shot on his ankle. That'll be a concern, because I think he's absolutely electric. But Alexis McAllister will be back as well. All in all, I think it's a very positive result for Liverpool. I really do. Fulham are a great side. They've taken points off big sides this season, particularly Arsenal last week. And to get a 2-2 draw from two losing positions shows a lot of fight. The kind of character I'm not seeing from Arsenal at the moment, to be completely real. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you very, very soon.